Hello and welcome to episode 60 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take random movies from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
And this is our random recap of movies we've reviewed, 51 to 59. The decades roll by. Feels like a long time ago we did Lethal Weapon.
It does. It was such a great movie, and it was such a joy to watch it and review it. There's been a lot of gunk in between here and there. It's been good stuff in there as well, though. Let's just be honest.
A little bit of good stuff sprinkled in there, but a lot of bad stuff and a lot of mediocre stuff. Lethal Weapon came out in 87, Metascore of 68, and a Metascore of 68 and a user score of 8.1. I gave it an average. I've looked back on this a lot, and I only gave it 2.5 average.
Yeah, same here. I'm a 2.75, which for a movie I really bloody enjoy is quite low. I guess things like the sound hurt it for me. I guess that's what dragged it really down. The sound is cat.
We gave it 1.5.
But yeah, the production, plot, acting, it's got high scores, and then sound just shits on it.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, but that's life, and those are the breaks.
Them's the breaks. Yeah.
Reviewing each category as it is. When you think of Lethal Weapon, what's the first thing that comes to your mind of the actual movie?
Getting too old for this shit. I just, what comes to mind when I think of these movies, all of the Lethal Weapon movies, is that I want to be Murta, or I feel like he's my spirit animal. Too old for this shit. I'm tired. Stop running around and being fucking noisy, you young people.
Yeah, it's true. And he was younger than we are when he was doing this movie, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah, he's the same age as... I'm the same age as he was when he started the first one.
What I think about Lethal Weapon, like the late 80s, things were allowed more in the 80s. Even into the 90s, things were allowed. Obviously, you can get a sense of that from all the things that have come out in the press, all the dirty laundry that have come out in the press with Hollywood and producers and bad shit going on.
Weinsteins.
Like the script, the Weinsteins and every other actor that you loved back then being an asshole or whatever. But like there's things, part of the script, Mel calls Danny after the house explodes. What do you think I am? A FAG? And it's like, okay.
Oh yeah, that does. It's quite jarring. Yeah. It was jarring. I remember that thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then
at the time, not so much, No,
it doesn't. No, we were still blown away by the explosion of the house. It was like because that sort of shot was kind of rare when characters are walking away from you towards the back of the scene. The house is the target, and you aren't expecting it because it's not set up in a way where this explosion should occur. So it was a kind of a novel camera angle to take, and I think that's why it stood out in my memory as a scene from it. Of course, you get the suicide jumper scene as well,
and I liked the connection between this and Stick.
Yeah, that was very. What's the word?
Poignant? I don't know. Cheesy?
Poignant. There's a thing about destiny and stuff.
Yeah,
there's actually a movie. There's a movie called Serendipity. It's
very serendipitous.
Serendipitous. Yeah, so the stuntman was involved in this, and this is his last full movie, I believe, he did Stick.
Yeah, before he drove. Did he drive off something or something crazy like that?
He hit a tree.
Yes, fell off a cliff and hit a tree.
Yeah, so
making sure of it.
Yeah, this movie is... he didn't fall off a cliff. That's incorrect.
Oh.
And we had this argument during Stick, I think.
I'm saying he fell off a cliff and he hit the tree.
No,
and
you
still haven't learned your lesson. Onto the motorbike and got hit by a truck.
That's like Homer Simpson. No.
No?
He just ran into a tree. Yeah.
I
don't think there was a cliff involved. There might have been a small gully.
Yeah, a slight ditch, a couple of branches,
a little inclination. But this movie is dedicated to him, and the next movie where he died during it is dedicated to him. But he'll always be remembered as one of the best stunt people in the world in history of cinema.
Best.
What about Lethal Weapon? Yeah. What about what else about Lethal Weapon? Recommended to watch? I would say
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
Obviously,
And even just for the pop culture references, like it is an important piece of cinema, in my opinion. It's not groundbreaking in anything that it does really, but it is culturally important.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know, if you're above 40, then you know this movie. If you're not above 40, then you probably don't know this movie. And maybe a lot of things will be problematic to you.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're growing up now, you're in your early 20s and you haven't seen this movie before and you watch it now, you might not have the same warm, fuzzy feelings that we have towards it. In fact, you might be disgusted by that parts of it.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like it's real shtick type intro to the movie where it's just directly into a nude female. Like it's really
Yeah,
like
no real
that's
reason
the
for it.
'80s for you. But like, it's like it's just typical machoism '80s Hollywood movie where
Well,
it's just like, all right, straight
what's
into breasts.
yeah, breasts and cocaine and out
Yeah,
the window. What's funny is though, like there's almost a semi addressing of that when somebody's talking to Murta about men growing feelings, and it's important for men to have feelings when talking to women and stuff like that. Now it's done in the most misogynistic way possible, but it's almost like kind of being self aware about it, but not.
yeah. I'm wondering even if the like uh him putting the gun into his mouth would even be done these days.
I know. I'd actually think that scene where he's thinking
It's
about killing
great. It's a
himself
great
is
scene,
one of the
yeah.
best scenes in this movie, and possibly
But
is the best scene in this movie. It's
I'm just
fantastic.
thinking if like these guys that wrote this back in the '80s or in their 20s or whatever, like I wonder if people in their 20s would second guess themselves, going, "Oh, that might trigger somebody," you know?
Well, that's the. Well, I don't think so. I think you look at there's some pretty damn edgy movies being made now. I'm thinking of the A24 movie about the family living beside outfits. Like
Yeah, I
that's
watched
some.
that recently.
I haven't seen it actually. I really want to see it. It's in my list of movies that I want to watch. Hasn't come up randomly yet, uh, but it looks great. It's quite dark. What was your opinion of it? Just randomly segueing.
That's good. Random is the name of our game. No, I liked it. It's dark. Now here's the deal. So we just last week we watched the Deep Blue Sea, not the shark movie,
No sharks.
where a long moments of nothing happening happens. The same thing happens in this movie,
But it's done well, I guess. Yeah.
but it's done amazingly well because they're obviously beside the concentration camp, and in the background there's all these gunshots and screams.
Oh, but that's not part of the movie. It's just a backdrop.
It's the backdrop, but that's what the entire movie is about, because it's about a normal, well, an SS commandant of the actual concentration camp.
Very normal family.
Yeah, Rudolf Hoss. I meant to look him up after I watched it. The Zone of Interest, if anybody's interested. Yeah. But in any other movie, it wouldn't work. But because of such a dark background to it, they're just getting on with their lives. They've got a couple of servants from the local village, and they just like. In another sense, you say, well, nothing really happens, but it's produced so well, and there's such a
So
dismal,
it's a
bleak.
risky move considering it's portraying a normal family,
Yeah,
but a
yeah.
normal family that are doing monstrous acts. So
Yeah. And they just ignore it. They've got
yeah,
a swimming pool and they have picnics in the garden right beside the wall of the concentration camp. And during one scene when she's talking to her mother, there's like somebody trying to escape and they shoot. There's lots of shooting going on. It's an amazingly refreshing take, if depressing.
yes, it's definitely on my
Yeah.
list. It's just
Yeah,
very
yeah.
hard to be in the mood for this movie.
Yeah, you got to be in the mood. It's 1 hour 45 minutes of just, and like the wife of Rudolph Hoss is like, he gets transferred and she's like, I don't want to leave. I have a perfect life here.
That's mad.
As millions of people, and then there's like scenes where he's bathing in the river and just a bunch of blood comes down the river.
Oh, lovely.
It's just scenes like that just ramp it up into a movie that's something.
Anyway, so
Something about nothing. Anyway, Lethal Weapon. Good movie. Good movie. Watch it if you haven't.
Damn
The
right.
next movie was Jet Lag from 2002. Metascore of 53. A user score of 6.2. I gave it an average of 1.25. What did you give it an average of?
1.625 because I'm weird.
Well, it's still bad.
It's shockingly bad. The plot I gave a 1, and I think that's generous.
Yeah, it was because I get 0.5.
I did give 3 for the acting. I am a big fan of Jean Reno.
Love him.
I do love him.
J'adore.
J'adore Léon. But yeah, and the sound was god awful. Production was terrible. Yeah, it's just an awful movie. Whatever you do, don't watch it.
If you want to watch a bad movie, watch it, or you could watch the next one, which is even worse.
If you want a really bad movie, you watch the next one.
Yeah, but Jet Lag is the problem with Jet Lag is, from just off the top of my head, from remembering the plot, it just doesn't go deep enough into the things that matter the most in the plot.
Yeah,
so
here's the thing though, like I think they were nearly at a decent movie.
Nearly, yeah. And I remember us going through this and we were making it better, like we always do with bad movies.
Yes, we do take a consultancy fee if anybody's interested.
Yeah, we make bad movies good. 15K plus random movie reviews. We make bad movies good. Well, that's the thing. So, like at the start of the movie, you get a full 20 minutes where they're on the opposite end of a phone call, and you don't hear the other end of the phone call, and you're in the dark for the vast majority of the intro. And in the intro, I want to know stuff. I want to know more stuff. All I know is
You want some of the exposition at this point. Set the background. Set the scene.
Yes. I want to know more about his marriage, and I want to know more about her marriage.
Yeah.
And we don't get enough of that. And then the second third of the movie, where they're together in the hotel room and they have dinner or whatever, they don't do enough of bonding to make it happen that they love each other at the end.
Yeah, and there's a kind of a failed attempt at the chalk and cheese personality conflict going on. It's kind of weak. I found it.
Well, you're being sort of conservative there with your wording.
It was crap. It doesn't work. There's no chemistry at that point. Yeah, and there's no sexual tension, which you would expect for that sort of thing. There's nothing.
There's nothing. And I got really pissed off that, he's a chef, or he was a chef, but he does fucking microwave dinners now, which was so uninteresting.
Yep.
Why wasn't he a chef? Why wasn't he just a chef? Why didn't you make him a famous 4-star chef or something?
That was an annoying point. Another annoying point about this was when he was cooking for her down in the kitchen later on in the movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't properly do the whole food porn thing, which you should do with a skilled chef. They should be enticing. You should almost be able to taste the food, but you don't get that.
No, it's all mid shots.
God damn it.
And I don't even I don't even get what the hell he's cooking either. I never got to the point where, oh, that looks good and that should smell good. I never got to that point. It was just a really lame produced and directed movie.
It misses the mark several times. Yeah. There's a bunch of things minor things that could have been done to improve the movie, but it just misses. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a great premise. It's something can happen there, and like in an airport.
And
delays,
the dad thing,
anything can happen.
Actually, the dad thing still annoys me.
Oh yeah, that's shit.
What's going on with his dad? I don't know. I don't think I'll ever know.
And at the ending as well, when he's leaving her a message on the phone, it's like, I love you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't. You met her for a couple of hours. You hated each other. You made her a fucking burger in the kitchen with some stringy fries.
Well done.
I don't even know if that was it.
See, like Lost in Translation, after the interaction together, they go their separate ways, and it's a stronger movie first because it's not the romantic Hollywood ending. It's more realistic. People, ships in the night, done, gone, finished. Doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Should have done that.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Moving on. Hernia. Let me give it the right title. Hermia and Helena.
Pain.
2016.
Pain
Metascore
in
79.
my scrotum.
Let me get the Metascore out and save your rage.
Apologies.
Choking on your own rage. Metascore of 79, user score of TBD, one of those ones where not a lot of people have watched it. Same with Wings, actually, back then, but Wings was better than this.
Yeah.
This has become my new lowest rated movie.
Same
It
here.
took over from Daddy Time, probably, or fucking whatever.
This is
that
way
was.
worse than the Baby Daddy.
Baby Daddy, yeah.
This is way worse.
This is my average was 0.1875.
Oh, you kicked the crowd. Oh, I give it 0.25.
All right. Well, I gave the plot 0, so that probably
okay. Yeah, I give it 0.25 because I'm pretty sure they wrote stuff on paper.
You never know.
But aside from that, it is the most infuriating piece of pseudo artistic twaddle I've ever been unfortunately forced to watch. This is, if you were an inmate in Guantanamo Bay, this would be going too bloody far as torture.
Yeah, put this on with Who Let the Dogs Out on repeat.
This is shocking. Makes no sense. I don't understand why this was made.
I think it was a grant, like it was a Set America sort of project, and I think they probably gave them a grant going, hey, let's make a cross-border Argentinian American thing.
Well, it did make me cross.
Yes. What I'm trying to think of anything that I can remember from the movie that's shockingly horrible. Like everything is.
The poetry and the movie that what's his face? I can't remember his bloody name. I don't want to remember.
Oh yeah, the guy.
Yeah, he writes
that's
a poem
the worst
about
scene.
her. It is just so bad. And then when he finishes with that, it's back to them on a bench, and then it pans.
That wasn't a poem. That was his movie.
That was his movie, yeah, but it was some sort of poetry written over it.
Whatever, yeah.
And then it pans to them. It pans out to the trees, and then like a negative image of the trees, and then splashes red over it. There's lots of weird, stupid images that pop up and bits of text from Shakespeare's stuff just slapped up there for no particular reason other than to annoy me. Yeah. And then she rips up a book. God damn it. It's as bad as putting milk in first in a cup of tea. We'll get to that later.
I think the worst scene, apart from that scene on the park bench where she goes, close your eyes. Oh. Goodbye. Listen, she meets her long-lost dad, and
do you believe in genetics?
I think you did the exact same thing when I was reviewing it. I was introducing it, and you just came across it. Do you believe in genetics?
Such a stupid line.
They basically played 20 questions with each other, and it's not emotional. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's not engaging.
It's not realistic.
Bland. It's wooden. And the script is so bad that we should move on immediately.
I think so. I think it's just boiling my blood pressure.
Yeah. Put your band on, see what your blood pressure's at. Episode 54 was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This was from Andrew's list. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
It's a refresher.
We needed something. I think that's what happened at this point. We were just depressed after jet lag, and then hernias
appeared. Yeah, this one's from 66. It's got a Metascore of 90 and a meta user score of 9.1. I gave it an average of 4.5.
I, for some reason, just under that with 4.4375, just to be bloody awkward.
Yeah, that is awkward. Well, see, I think this is my first 5 I gave this for the soundtrack, because this was when I think I said it in the episode. I don't think I ever watched this all the way through. I just don't remember quite a lot of it. I might have watched it when I was a kid, but the soundtrack,
so good.
My wife hated it because she was in the other part of the apartment, and she was just like going, "Why does that keep on repeating?"
Because it's
Ennio. It does.
Ennio, but it's different variations of the same tune. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And there's other just lovely little melodies as well.
Yeah.
Through it, and I listened to the soundtrack quite regularly after it.
Oh, what's the title of the one in the graveyard? Something, The Glory of Gold or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, The Ecstasy of Gold.
Ecstasy of Gold. Fantastic piece of music. That's just amazing.
Well, Metallica have introduced that to millions of people. That's their intro music for every concert they do.
What a brilliant choice. It's just
Yeah.
one of the best pieces of music ever composed.
Yeah. Things I keep thinking about, and I really, and I know this is because this is what they did back in the day. So an Italian director, they never used the raw audio. They never actually, they never recorded the audio when they were recording the video, and they just relied on dubbing afterwards. When, especially with um, the uh, the the bad character, Eli Kranick, is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
The actor. I should actually just make sure I get that right. Anyway, I just think I'm missing his voice, his real voice at the real time. Uh,
It does feel a
Eli
little
Wallach,
bit
sorry, Eli
sorry,
Wallach.
yeah.
Eli Wallach playing Tuco. He's such a great character, and it's his movie, as we said during the episode.
It's not about
You
Blondie.
know, no. When he's telling Blondie at the bridge about where the name of the grave or whatever, the name of the person. It's so I was just like, oh my god, his facial expression is so good, but the dubbing is not fitting his facial expression, and I just really, it's just a lost thing for me. Basically, I just feel like we were robbed of original audio just due to the process of the Italian director.
I don't think that it diminishes the movie in any way, though.
It doesn't, but I just feel
It could have been slightly better, maybe, for it,
Yeah.
because they cut corners on cost instead of recording it at the time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's even about cutting corners. I think it was just the process. I don't think it was down to a budget or anything. Yeah.
1966 outdoors productions.
Yeah. And I must say, like, just to give them, like, it's an amazing movie, amazingly produced, other than the audio thing. Like, even the Civil War scene that people, like, you don't really, it fits into everything, but when you look at it from afar, it's got this long shot of just hundreds of or thousands of soldiers running towards the bridge and fighting, whatever. It was just amazingly done, the entire movie.
It is. And it's like Tuco, Eli is just stonking in it. Clint obviously is Clint. And it's almost like a buddy movie between these two. They're not buddies, really.
No,
they're
it's complex.
Adversaries, but they kind of respect each other as well, and they like each other but hate each other. It's a fantastic dynamic.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You know, you want a little bit of complexity. You don't want it to be, again, the ugly. You know, he comes in from time to time.
He's just an a-hole.
Lee Van Cleef.
He fantastically played as well.
He's good. But when you compare it to other like attempts at other action movies or anything like that, you kind of go, well, this has got everything. It's got the amazing soundtrack, amazing actors, and just a great story, and just stunningly produced.
Well, you compare this and the other movies of the man with no name, like the stuff that Sergio did compared to other westerns at the time. It beats the living crap out of them. It really does. Even movies with so much more money, and there's just depth to these movies.
Yeah, of course. And I think that, I just think I've often thought back to this movie over the weeks since we've watched it, and that's always a good sign when it just pops into your head as well.
It repeats on you like a good piece of fish.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything else? I'm trying to remember. I don't want to leave it without doing it justice, but if you want to hear our full thoughts on it, just go back to episode 54.
Or do yourselves a favor and watch the damn movie. It is good. It is worth taking the time to watch.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Niall watched the extended version. I didn't. With the extended version, there's 3 extra scenes. I don't think they add a lot to it.
It doesn't make it all that much longer. It doesn't really change what you're seeing. I enjoyed it regardless.
Yeah, great ending as well, especially with the ecstasy of gold playing. But then there's a standoff, and then there's the noose from the tree bit. It's amazing ending. Great ending to a movie.
It is, and the way it just leaves it hanging.
Yeah, and of course, you don't have Quentin Tarantino without the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, he would never have been a director.
Yeah, He gave up on his plans to do his 15th movie.
He
I
did. I
read.
don't know what's going on there.
Who knows?
I
That's probably
didn't.
more
To be honest, I didn't like the sound of it. It was
more
a film critic,
publicity,
wasn't
maybe.
it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like he needs. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, episode 55 was the trip to Italy from 2014. Metascore 75. User score of 5.9. I gave it 2.5625, just a tad above average.
I give it 2.5. To be honest, it's not bad. I was kind of expecting more though, which is kind of because I love both these guys.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just at times it felt a little bit flat, and some of the romance in it really detracts from it. I guess it
It
doesn't feel
does.
real, doesn't feel believable. It kind of
Yeah, I
annoys
think
me.
Yeah, I think the user score reflects people's opinions from the first one, the original trip, which was great. Had a little bit of romance with the photographer and Steve, as they do in this one, but Rob Brydon was the foil who stayed solid to his wife, and in this one he goes nuts and has an affair, and it detracts from it. Like, listen, the main reason you watch all the trip movies is for their impressions and the food scenes, and you don't
Yeah,
really give a shit about what's going on around. It's like it doesn't really add anything at all to it.
there are some great, like Sean Connery impersonations and
Yeah, they always do it though. They always do the same shtick every time.
yeah, and that's a
They
good
never.
thing. It when you get into watching this, the reason you're watching this in the first place is because you know the two main characters, you know how they interact with each other, and you want that, and that's what it gives you.
Yeah, it's comfort. I think I
Bubble
remember just
gum for
watching.
them eyes, ears.
Yes, yeah. I
Not a
think
bad thing.
it's easy watching, and I'll always, if I'm bored and need some fun, I'll just go through the scenes, the best scenes on YouTube of the original trip as well, just because they're so funny,
Yeah,
so funny. But having said that, nothing really happens in this movie. There's beautiful scenery. I want to go to the places they went to. It
yeah.
made me look up Tennyson and whatever the other bloody
Byron
Byron, there you go, and their stupid backstories and their larger than life lives that
being
they
set
live
fire to
fast,
on a
die young,
beach.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, live
Well, one
fast,
of
die
them.
young. Yeah. Well, both of them died young.
Really?
I believe so. Like one just died really young.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that
Well,
shows how
back in the day,
much.
everybody died young.
Well, yeah, true, but not crazy young. Not in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 56 was The Disaster Artist from 2017. Metascore 76, user score of 7.6, and I gave it an average of 2.375, just below average. What was your score?
I'm being consistent here now. It's another 2.5. It's a decent movie. There's some decent acting in it. It's a
It's all
reasonable
right.
plot. The fact that it's based on real life is drags it up, I think.
Yeah, it's all right. It's as we said, James Franco plays the dude Tommy Wiseau.
I think we said it was an impression at the
It's an
time, and it is.
impressionistic, yeah, yeah. And that's not his problem because Tommy Wiseau is a caricature of himself.
Yeah, there's only one way he can be played is as an impression of
Yeah.
him, because he
So
is just weird.
yeah, so the fact that like he did him and he did it fine, and they sort of revel in that near the end because they play all the scenes side by side
Yeah.
because they're like going, oh, look at how good we did with the scenery and stuff and acting. So that was a little bit of a shitty, egocentric ending
It was.
to it.
It was. Listen, I think it was kind of done by fanboys. Like everybody
Yeah, the
involved
Francos. Yeah.
were absolutely fanboys of this terrible movie that they're taking the mickey out of because they loved how crap it was. This is why they wanted to make this movie about. What's his name again? Sorry,
The Room.
the Broom guy. No, what was his?
Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy.
Oh,
Sorry, yeah.
Tommy Wiseau. Yeah.
Yeah, they were such big fanboys of Tommy that they needed to make this movie, and they were indulging themselves a little bit because they've obviously made their monies and they can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Dave Franco's portrayal of Greg Sestero. He's he has a terrible fake beard. I said in the review, and I don't know. I just don't like his portrayal. I don't like his acting. He was fine. Like, it wasn't bad acting. I think it was just kind of weird.
I think again, it's probably the best you could do with what you're aiming towards. He is a terrible actor that he's acting to be, and his character is kind of, well, a bit stupid, a bit naive.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one to do properly without losing the comedy out of it as well, because there has to be some sort of chuckles.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It was never going to be a fantastically good movie.
Like if you look at
it was a passion project.
Project, yeah. Bit of crack for the lads.
Bit of crack for the lads. Fine. All right, The Shape of Water. You'll see that actually those two movies in a row, The Trip to Italy and Disaster Artist, they're sort of like, as we see from our average scores, they're average. There's not really too much to say about them. You know, when something's really bad, we've got a lot to say, and when something's really good,
I love a terrible movie, apart from Hernia. That was too much.
And The Deep Blue Sea as well is pretty bad. And Jet Lag.
We like to complain about movies. That's very true.
Metroland. Yeah.
Oh, God.
The next movie was The Shape of Water, so we got back into some better scenery here in 2017.
Production-tastic.
Metascore of 87, user score of 7. I gave it an average of 3.5, which I feel is good.
I gave it a 4. I love this movie. I think the cinematic feel of it is just stonking. The coloration, the green, it's just deliberate. It's just beautiful to watch the damn thing. Even without the sound, it would be amazing. It's just a lovely thing to see.
Yeah.
And it's Guillermo del Toro's stylization and the beast, or whatever you want to call him, the fish boy. It's just so well designed.
Yeah, and like I think as well as that, the actors as well do a great job. Sally Hawkins, Octavia Spencer, Michael Shannon, Doug Jones.
Doug Jones stands out in this. He's such a great physical actor.
Yeah, he definitely does. He does tall, lanky creatures.
He does.
Well,
that's all he's got, though. You know, he's tall and lanky. He can't be a short. He can't do Gollum.
No, for sure. Michael Shannon, of course, you don't really notice him, but he's in Groundhog Day as the newlywed.
Yeah, he's in it for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Not nearly,
WrestleMania. No way.
Not nearly as intimidating in Groundhog Day.
No, the opposite. I think it was his first movie. But Sally Hawkins, I loved her portrayal here. It was beautiful. It was
understood.
I don't know, she's a nice soul. She just had portrayed Elisa as having just a nice soul.
Something very innocent about her. Well, not all innocent. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the fact that she was mute had this another layer to the movie that wasn't just, all right, let's make everybody talk and blah blah blah. And of course, you sort of stated the obvious that I realized after we finished. Was like, yeah, of course she was a bloody fish woman. The scars on her neck are gills. What the fuck were you thinking?
And she was found at the side of a river.
Yeah, what are the fucking idiots?
I thought everybody thought that was obvious. Sorry.
I just didn't think of it.
She's a fish woman. That's why she fancies a fish boy.
Yeah, and the fact that he put his hands on her gills and they became gills near the end. He's not that magic. Yeah. He can't make scars become breathing apparatus.
Well, in fairness, he did bring himself back to life after being shot in the heart, so he's kind of magic.
That's true, but I don't think he can manufacture.
He is a god.
Although he made, hair on the guy's head.
That's the kind of magic I'm interested in.
I think we came away from the movie going, we'd like to be Fishman's friend.
Oh yeah, I'd give him loads of eggs for that.
Pat me on the head again. Hurry up.
I'd give rid of this belly, would you, fish boy?
Yeah, put your hand on my fucking belly.
Give me a 6-pack. Nice, good work, fish boy. Have some eggs.
Yeah, here's a 6-pack of eggs.
Stay away from the cat.
Yeah. Octavia Spencer's good as Zelda. She's just not. She's just a supportive friend. Talks a lot about her.
I like
husband.
The Russian scientist Dmitri. He's quite well played as well.
Yes, he was good as well. Yeah.
There's nothing. I can't think of anything bad about this movie. There's no pieces that I'd say you'd want to improve on.
No. Let me see my scores here. 3.25, 3.25, 3.54. I guess the plot's just, like they're all good scores, I guess,
Yeah,
plots.
you could make the plot a little bit more complex, but then I think a complex plot wouldn't work with the innocence of the main character, if you get me.
Yeah.
It has to be kept simple.
Yeah, once you get over a certain grade number, like 3 or something, it's just little variables then that just make it get better.
Yeah, it's tweaking. Like things like the coloration in this.
Yeah.
It tweaks it up a little bit, and that's just a great little
True.
piece of work from Guillermo del Toro. Like, fantastic thing to do.
I love green. I loved how it's like you were swimming in it, and I guess that's why he wanted you to feel like it.
It kind of reminds me, and I know it's not the same thing at all, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of The Matrix, in that when they were in simulations, it was always a green U to let you know that this is a simulation, and you don't notice it necessarily until you think about it, and you're like, they're all simulations because it's a little bit green.
A little bit of green. But yeah, even the overall production of just the apartments and the Occam building,
again,
great.
A period piece. And we've just finished watching Fallout before watching this, and that
I haven't
time
finished watching Fallout.
Oh, sorry.
Don't say anything.
Anyway, they all blow up in a nuclear explosion.
At the start.
But the time period, like it's another 1950s or 1960s, I can't remember. I think it was 60s piece, or very early 60s, and it's just so very well done. It's almost a caricature of the time period. It's almost a little bit too much on the nose, which I kind of like.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you start a movie off and you just like the look of it straight away.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot when I love Del Toro stuff, because there's always a look and feel of them. Like the Hellboy movies, very stupid, let's be honest, movies, but beautiful looking. Pan's Labyrinth, beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know about Pacific Rim. I can't know if I can say that.
I never watched it.
I loved it. It's a terrible movie. Absolute rubbish. Still loved it.
Yeah, so Shape of Water was a very nice, gentle, quirky...
Gentle until somebody gets their throat slit and loses fingers.
True. It's gentle in the sense that Elisa's world is a little different than ours, and the way she communicates with everybody and the way she interacts with the world is different, and meeting Fishman changed her outlook in life.
Yes. Yeah, as you say, it's incredibly nice.
Yeah, and it's weird nice, not like nice, like the stupid romantic movie or something,
No, it
is a romantic movie in a sense.
Nuanced romantic movie, and I can live with that. In fact, I really like this movie. It's one of the rare romance. It's not a rom-com, but I don't know what you'd call it. Fishmance. Anyway, fantastic.
No, you just call it romance, but you go ROE.
Hey!
God,
done,
I'm good.
well done.
Yeah,
10 points.
Jesus Christ, so good. What the fuck's wrong with me? And nobody's going to listen to this. Hey, if anybody's heard that, please just give me a message and go, well done. Then I'll really find out who's listening.
Why is nobody
very
messaging
proud of
me?
that. Best thing I've ever said in 60 episodes. Straight off the cuff. You assholes. Give me some credit. All right. So episode 58 was Groundhog Day. Again. Yeah. 1993, 72 Metascore, 8.5 user score. I gave it 3.875. I've always liked this movie. It made me analyze it a bit better, a bit more in depth when I did it for this. What did you give it?
You have a 3.5. A good movie.
Yes. No fives. I didn't give it any fives. I gave 4 for plot and acting.
I gave a 4.5 for the plot, because I think at the time To my mind, anyway,
Yeah,
this
maybe.
was a
Yeah.
new concept in cinema. Such a
Yeah.
fantastic plot device that he's stuck inside this one day, and he doesn't get out of it until he stops being an asshole.
Yeah. I put all of the Ned Ryerson scenes together for a TikTok post.
Nice,
Nobody
nice.
watched it.
Get.
Wow, there's 200 views or something. I was like, fuck you, algorithm. That took me a long time to make that. But you know what I did? I went to ChatGPT and I said, can you give me the timestamps of every Ned Ryerson
Nice.
scene in thing? And it actually did okay. It went a little askew near the end, but it was like, yeah, cool, I'll do that. That was good. But Groundhog Day, I don't think would be, you'd be missing, it would be missing a lot if it wasn't Bill Murray and Andy McDowell, I think.
I agree. You mentioned somebody else was in the
Yeah, so Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I think he would have been a reasonable replacement, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Grumpy. He does that well.
Grumpy,
Losing his underwear.
acerbic. Yeah, I think he actually would have done. And actually, you know what? I'd love to call him up and go, "Hey, can you shoot some Groundhog Day scenes?"
We're going to do a remake. You're going to be the main guy.
Yeah, Groundhog Day 2. It's just exactly the same.
Just me and my mate with our cell phones, okay? You okay with that?
We're shooting it in Abbey Lakes and Leitrim.
He'd be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, but Bill Murray does a great job.
Great job.
He's acerbic, he's grumpy, he's bitter, he's an asshole, but then he's got that pudgy marshmallow face that, when he says nice sentences, you're going, yeah.
He's really a good guy underneath.
Yeah. Yeah. And Andy McDowell is like the sweetest actress ever with her and that's a real accent, by the way.
Yeah.
Southern gal. But,
but the thing is, I think you could probably replace her reasonably easy. I'm being cruel.
You cruel bastard.
Yeah, she's still good in this. Don't get me wrong.
Back in '93, who would you have gone for? Sharon Stone?
No. I can't think of any actresses, to be honest. So maybe I should shut up. I'm gonna go with. I was going to say Winona Ryder, much too young.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, much too young.
There's plenty. I just can't think of any right now. God damn it.
Well, while you're talking, I'm just putting it into ChatGPT to see what they will say. Let's see. Julia Roberts.
Oh.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock could work.
Meg Ryan.
She's kind of designed for that, isn't she?
She kind of is designed for it. You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle. It could have been another rom-com, but a little bit more funnier and a little bit more weird. I think she could have fit into it nicely.
Yeah. You turn up the weird a bit with her. That'd be good.
GPT gave me three from 1990s, 3 from 2000s, and 3 from the recent years, and one of them is Scarlett Johansson from recent years. So
again,
her and Bill Murray together.
They do work well together, and the romance the chemistry is between them quite easily. Yeah. It's quite palpable, as it was in...
Julia Roberts could have been good about it. She could have done the whole, nice,
I don't know,
quaint girl.
I never really liked Julia Roberts, I'm going to say that.
No, I'm not. That's fine, but I'm just saying she could have done it. She could have fit into the role. But Meg Ryan, I think, could have done it nicely.
Oh, yeah.
She's got the face for Sandra Bullock, though. 93, I don't know what age she was then.
She might be a bit young.
Maybe.
I do actually like Sandra Bullock. Sometimes she's really good.
And she's a good comedic actor too,
She is.
Yeah. And I really like Demolition Man. I don't care what anybody says.
I love that movie.
Nobody likes it.
It's a stupid movie. It's great.
I always say, and nobody ever gets it, when somebody has an issue, I go, what's your boggle? Nobody gets it. Nobody knows where it's from and just think I'm an idiot. What do you mean boggle?
Enhance your cam, Callan.
Use the 3 shells and shut up. You have been fine. You've been fined 1 credit for going against
pooping on the
language. Lawn. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, Demolition Man.
Watch it.
Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock, Future.
Yeah,
stuff.
if you read the concept, it sounds awful. You know what? It is awful, but it's so good at the same time.
I don't think it's actually awful. I'm saying it right here.
Whoa.
I don't think it's a bad. Like, do you think Predator's a bad movie?
No, Predator's a
But
great
it's
movie.
good.
No, there's nothing bad about Predator. I think Predator is a stand-up great movie. I think
I lump in Demolition Man with Predator. I lump in Demolition Man with Commando.
Commando's daft. And I think Demolition Man is daft. I'm not saying Commando's bad. I think it's just daft. And maybe I'm using the wrong word. It's a bit silly.
Don't interrupt my friend. He's dead tired. He jumps off a plane into a swamp.
Remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. Great movie. Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
We're going to have a big discussion about what defines a stupid good movie. Because I don't think Demolition Man's stupid. Depends what you mean by stupid. If you mean stupid as in it's ridiculous
all
and
the
plot
music
is stupid.
Is basically ads from things like Jolly Green Giant and stuff like that. And the fact
that's great. That's so good.
The future
so
is
funny.
Owned by places like Taco Bell and stuff, where they had the big
so
wars with Coca-Cola.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tongue-in-cheek, and I think it's intentionally so. I don't think that's a bad thing. It is stupid, but sometimes stupid is good.
I don't know. I need to fucking delve deeper into your definition of stupid here, because I think, first off the bat, it's a little condescending to call a movie that's good stupid. So let's talk about that at a later point.
You're inferring that stupid is bad. Sometimes stupid is good.
What about just saying it's a good movie?
It is a good movie.
Like, I'll tell you what. Fucking, what do you call it? That movie, Gentleman Broncos. That's stupid, but it's good.
Take that back.
Now you know how I feel.
I know it is incredibly stupid, and I love it. Like Napoleon Dynamite, it is kind of stupid. It's quirky. It's weird. Good movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Napoleon Dynamite stupid. Anyway, we're going to have to split hairs on that at a later point and maybe fight at dawn with
pistols.
Groundhog Day. Is that the movie we're on?
I think we've been here before. Let's stop being assholes and get out of the loop.
Yeah. I want to obviously say to Groundhog Day before we leave it. It's, a movie is great when you've got so many things you can quote from it on an everyday basis. It's always
first step. It's a doozy.
But just when you meet somebody that likes Groundhog Day, then you've instantly got some scenes just to recreate and talk about. And it's a joyous if you're from. I actually listened to that on Spotify.
Oh wow, that's the Philadelphia.
It was
that's
great.
Polka. Something polka.
Yeah, something like something polka. Yeah,
great song.
Philadelphia polka or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's some band. It's like the Jim Miller band or whatever. It's not Jim Miller though. But anyway, I think if you're young and you haven't seen Groundhog Day before, maybe you probably might not appreciate it for what it is. But
I got my eldest daughter to watch it. She's only 8 and she loved it.
That's good. Yeah, that's really nice to hear, actually. Like, good transcends generations.
She said it wasn't quite as good as, I made her watch the entire 3 movies out of Back to the Future, and she adored that. She absolutely adored that. She needs to know culture. This is culture. She loved it. Absolutely loved
80s and 90s culture.
Yeah.
Sit down, you're fucking watching this.
And you'll bloody well like it too.
Yeah. Now here's Pearl Jam and Metallica. Taylor Swift.
No, I can't listen to that. Pearl Jam.
No.
Put your Pearl Jam back on.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah. All right. Groundhog Day is great.
Yes.
And the last movie of our 9 episodes in our 5th decade of living this podcast was The Deep Blue Sea.
Zero
Not
sharks.
Deep Blue Sea.
No sharks.
0 sharks were harmed in this movie. 2012, 82 Metascore, which is ridiculous, and a 6.3 user score. I gave it 1.1875 average.
1.75. It was garbage.
You know what we forgot to mention because it was so bad, we were just basically harping on it a lot. But she actually does mention the deep blue sea in one of her lines. You remember that?
Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. I did write it down thinking I should probably mention that, and then got annoyed.
Yeah. And yeah, so what's the origins of that saying?
I do not know, actually.
ChatGPT might know. No, it doesn't. just in the I was just trying to find where it came from, but it just kind of gave me illustrations of, well, so like, yeah, so in this movie she's caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Who's the devil? Is it Freddy, or is deep blue sea Freddy? And the devil is Freddy, and the deep blue sea full of money is Bill.
Yeah, but both of those sound like they're going to die. And I guess that was her conundrum. She's going to die of boredom with her original husband and die of death with her new beau.
Yeah. ChatGPT says obviously a maritime origin, but it could have a link to Homer's Odyssey. It also was involved in Thomas Bullen's 1902 book, The Cruise of the Cachalot. But anyway, who gives a shit?
Exactly. We're trying
It's
to
too bad
find
of a
too
movie.
much depth in this movie.
Yeah, but like, it is a weird movie to call something that. And all right, fine, the deep blue sea. What else could you have called this?
Crock of shite. Somebody's breaking up. It's sad, terrible, but we could have done it in 10 minutes. The end. Too many violins. There we go. That's the name of this movie.
Too many violins. Actually, I wonder just because during this episode we were like going, yeah, this is a candidate for my new genre of movies that just end abruptly after 15 minutes. I haven't named this genre yet, but it's going to be named after me.
Can it be named something like "Thank God It's Over"? Or
no, I'll have to think about it. But anyway, when she lights a cigarette in the room that she tried to gas herself in, like a few hours earlier, it should have been Kaboomy, and that should have been the end of the movie. And then you played a Curb Your Enthusiasm song.
That would have warmed the cockles of my heart.
Yeah, cockles, deep blue sea.
There you
go. Well, thankfully we come up with some laughs from it, but yeah, the only laugh from this is I'm going to the Impressionists.
It was a great line, absolutely great.
I laughed.
It was just
I was like,
completely random, complete sulk. I'm storming off the Impressionists. Brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm basically it wasn't meant to be funny at all, but it's funny, and it was stupid. It was in the middle of a dramatic scene. I'm off to the Impressionists. Like, he could have said, I'm off to the Pre-Raphaelites. I'm off to the Egyptology department.
Yeah.
Anyway, too crap of a movie to talk about more. Don't watch it. And just be careful when you're searching up Deep Blue Sea and you want to watch that and you mistakenly purchase this or rent this. You're in for a bit of a bad night. I'm sorry.
In fairness, every time I Googled this, Google tried to push me towards Deep Blue Sea because Google knew.
True. Yeah.
What are you doing? No, watch this one. This is way better.
Yeah. Anyway.
I should have listened to you, Google.
Google knows, listening to you all the time. It should know by now you're looking for random shit movies.
Yeah.
From your conversations you're having every week. All right. That's the end of all our recaps. I will now roll again for our episode 61 movie and to see what we will get. And we get movie number 4,182. We're actually doing really well. We're not getting up to the 5-figure numbers recently.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And movie 4,182 is Evil Dead 2.
Hey! Sam Raimi, baby. I love this movie.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
I've watched all the Evil Dead movies. I've even watched the TV show, The Evil Dead.
I feel like I've missed out on a lot of cultural things by not watching these.
It's kind of ridiculous. It's stupid. It's a intentionally stupid horror movie.
Yeah.
And I'm there for it. Like it's just, I don't know. It speaks to my really stupid sense of humor. This is a stupid movie.
Good. I like stupid. It's fine.
And for that, it's funny. It's very slapstick. No, it's quite Marmite, so be warned. A lot of people hate.
Do I need to watch the first one first?
No, first movie is
sure about
basically
that?
the same as the second movie, only with less comedy. In fact, the first movie was supposed to be pretty much like straight and serious, but the budget was so crap that it ended up being funny. And Sam Raimi just went, "Well, I'm just going to do more of that."
Right. I might watch the first one first just to get.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's again, it's. I don't know if you'd call it pop culture, but it's definitely cult pop culture.
Interesting. I'll never forgive Sam Raimi for Drag Me to Hell. I watched that in a cinema in Hong Kong in 2009.
I haven't seen it. Rubbish.
It was just a terrible horror movie where it all was jump scares. So I just spent the entire movie just looking to the side of the screen so I didn't get scared of the jumps.
See, I'm not a big horror fan, to be honest, at all.
Zombie movies transcend that genre.
We shoot things with shotguns. Yay!
Yeah.
That's not scary. There's something else about zombie movies that I really enjoy. It's not really scary. It's just survivalist horror, I guess. No, jump scares can go shag off. Evil Dead 2 is not really, well, it's silly jump scares, and it's intentionally taking the mick out of jump scares.
Oh, that's fine. It's got a Metascore of 72 and a user score of 8.2, so obviously there's a cult following to this. That's not a surprise to anybody. Yeah. Quick summary. Ash, the sole survivor of the Evil Dead, continues to struggle with the forces of the dead with his girlfriend Linda. They discover a mysterious tape recorder and hear the voice of Professor Nobby reciting passages from the Necronomicon. First Warden's focus spell, blah, 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 blah. You get the point. It's a silly zombie movie that should be okay if we are listening to Niall's recommendation.
You should never listen to my recommendations.
Never, ever, ever. Okay, great. So we'll see that in episode 61. If you've made it this far, I hope you're willing to come a little bit further. Shawshank Redemption.
Nice. Well played.
Yeah. Just share our stuff out there. Get our names out there. And if your friends will like a movie podcast where idiots are talking about idiotic stuff and movies, then
we also do birthday parties and weddings,
like the Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, exactly.
What a random reference. All right, see you in episode 61 of a bunch of zombies. Bye bye.
Cheerio.